Hey everyone and welcome back. So definitely got a lot of stuff to cover today because we got obviously the Arrow announcements now for their August titles. I got some new announcements from TerrorVision, the independent company, as well as studio announcement I do want to cover real quick, and also an update on the Synapse and Richard Pictures upcoming release of the 4K of Trick or Treat, which I am even wearing my shirt for it in honor of this announcement, or update rather, not quite announcement, update. Figured it was a good reason to wear this. I don't actually think I've worn it since last October, so it was a good reason to get it out again. And yes, indeed, I did, in fact, get a haircut and cut my hair quite short. I've not had it this short in a very long time, and I'm still trying to figure out like how to style it again when it's this short without the weight when it's longer. In fact, I don't think I've had it this short in almost 2 years or so. Maybe even longer than that, actually. I can't even remember. But anyway, don't want to go on about my hair anymore. I do want to mention that I want to try and cover actually quite a lot in this video, and I don't want this video to hopefully not run too long. So I'm probably not going to go over every last detail, especially as far as extras go on all of these, because I do want to actually cover all of them and I didn't want to wait. So without further ado, let's just dive in. So first up, coming from Sony on August 27th is a 4K release with an included Blu-ray in a steelbook of the movie Drive. The Nicholas Winding Refn film starring Ryan Gosling, the second sight in the UK, put it out in 4K a year and a half ago, something like that. And I'm pretty sure that this release is, transfer-wise, is pretty much identical to that one. Because I'm pretty sure. If you're a fan of the film, like I am, you didn't pick up the second sight release, this is definitely a good way to get it. The only thing is, it is currently a steelbook only. Sony seems to be doing that a lot lately. At the moment, I actually don't have a retail price. If I can find it, I'll put it up on the screen, but I did want to mention that one. And the other one, which I am very excited about, I don't know how many of you are. In fact, probably a lot of people aren't, but maybe, I don't know, maybe I'm the only one. But we are actually getting 4K releases of the rest of the Jaws sequels. Now this, I admit, I was not expecting this at all, especially coming from Universal. I figure like if we ever got 4K releases of Jaws 3, especially, and Jaws of Revenge, I was assuming it was going to be through like Scream Factory or Arrow or, you know, like a third party or something. But no, it's actually coming from Universal. So there are a couple options here. Obviously, we've already had 4K releases of the original Jaws. And last summer, we did get Jaws 2. And now we are getting Jaws 3 and Jaws of Revenge. Now, there will be two. Obviously, we already have a single release of Jaws 2. So we are going to get... there will be a single release for Jaws 3 and Jaws the Revenge. I believe, I could be wrong about this, I'm not 100% sure in the moment. I think it's also steelbook only, but there could be a standard release. I'm not sure at the moment. But there's also a 3-movie pack if you want to get Jaws 2, Jaws 3, and Jaws the Revenge as well. And these are due at July 23rd. Kind of too bad it's not for in time for 4th of July weekend, but it's okay. I save that for the original Jaws anyway. So the 3-movie set retails for $79.99. Pretty sure it'll come down in price before release. And the retail price for Jaws 3 and Jaws the Revenge, I believe, is $39.95. And I don't care what anyone says. I'm excited to get Jaws 3 and Jaws the Revenge in 4K. And yeah. All right, now let's move over to, let's do TerrorVision, a really great independent company. They just announced a whole slew of stuff, including a re-release of theirs that I believe has actually been a very, very good seller, and I'm glad it is getting a re-release. Although I don't know if it fully went out of print. It may not have, but I'm glad it's available for people, and I get to that one in a moment. But first, we're gonna get to, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 6 films here to go over. So let's see, where shall we begin? So first up, I do want to say that these are all Blu-ray releases, and I believe they all have the same price of $26.99, at least from the TerrorVision website. And there are a couple bundle options, which I will cover in just a moment, but I do want to cover the movies themselves first. So let's do Blu-ray of the movie Family Dinner from 2022, so definitely, obviously, an earlier film. Now, this looks like it will be a Region A locked Blu-ray. So it does come with a commentary track, 2 making-of featurettes, behind-the-scenes gallery. And again, that will be Region A locked to those of you outside of the US and Canada. And let's see, next up, Blu-ray of the movie In the Woods from 1999. Also a Region A Blu-ray, and this one actually has quite a few extras on it. So it's got an original cut of the film clocking in at 80 minutes, as well as an alternate cut of the film at 81 minutes. It's got a commentary track on each cut of the film, couple auditions, behind the scenes, a couple of short films and trailers and stuff, and it just looks like a really, really nice addition. And next up is a Blu-ray of the 1998 film Psycho Sisters getting a release. Let's see. I don't know if this one is region A locked. So it looks like there's actually 3 versions of the film. There was an original short film that was made in the early 90s, and then it was turned into a feature film in 94 that was shot on video, and then there was actually a remake that they did in 98 that was shot on film, and this release looks like it's actually going to have all 3 versions of it. And there's a note here that the uncut version of the 98 version will actually have a couple bits and pieces, I assume from some of the footage that was cut out, that is going to come from a beta copy, so obviously there'll be a little dip in quality for whatever, a few bits of uncut stuff, but that kind of thing never bothers me, so I'm totally okay with that. So like I said, it's got all 3 versions. It's got demo reel, it's got a lot of behind the scenes stuff, deleted scenes, music video, interviews, trailers, I think more short films. Definitely looks like a very cool release, and I need to keep moving. So much more to get to. Okay, next up is Video Violence 1 and 2 getting a Blu-ray release. I think that had gotten released before on DVD by somebody else. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Anyway, Blu-ray release. They do have new transfers from the original tape masters. I believe these were shot on video. It's got commentary tracks, both new and old, interviews, also new and old, with a bunch of people associated with the film. And I should say for both films, so commentary tracks on both films and all that. And not quite sure on the region coding. I don't know if it's region free or region A. Do want to mention that real quick. And then next up is another newer film called Dawning from 2022, Blu-ray release. This one is going to be region A locked. I do know that one for that. Does have a couple of making ofs, a visual effects breakdown, as well as a pre-visualization and feature comparison, as well as the trailer. Okay, and now I believe this is the last one, if I'm not mistaken. I hope I'm not missing one. It's a re-release of Linnea Quigley's horror workout coming out on Blu-ray. Now, they did release this, 2 years ago or something? So, for those of you who don't know, Linnea Quigley did do this, sort of workout video. It's not just exercise. Actually, it's got a little, a slumber party story that kind of goes with it. It's like a mini movie and stuff. Was shot on video at the time. Came out in 89, 90, something like that. 1990. According to this. And so they're coming back out with this. Now, the nice thing about it, so it's coming back out with a brand new slipcover for it, which you can get. Or if you have the older release and you want this new slipcover, you can actually just order the slipcover. So the slipcover only version is, if you just want the slipcover, it is $5.99. But the regular version is, with the slipcover, is $26.99. Or if you want just a version without the slipcover, you can actually get that for $21.99. And this is region free, and as far as I can tell, it does actually, looks like it's pretty much, I believe, the same release as the one that's out there. I think it's like all the extras look the same. And so I do want to mention it is a fantastic release, a lot of fun extras. And it does have 2 versions of it, which is actually kind of nice that they put this on here. So obviously, because it was shot on video, standard definition video, way back when. So it does have an original sort of like standard definition tape version, sort of as is, and then they did actually do a very nice job up converting it to HD for a Blu-ray release. Now, you can't take standard definition and turn it into HD, but you can up convert it just so it gives you a good solid presentation. And indeed, their up convert of it is really amazing. So yeah, I'm actually glad this is still available for people. Obviously, if you're a fan of Linnea Quigley, if you don't have it already, definitely recommend it. And indeed, they do have a bundle for, I think it's $80 flat, for the Linnea Quigley workout. So obviously, you get the Blu-ray with the new slipcover. You also get a pin, a t-shirt, and I believe 2 soundtracks, one on cassette and one on LP. So that's actually pretty cool. And then there are a couple bundles if you just want the movies. So one, there's a couple different versions here. So one, if you want a bundle that has the Family Dinner, Psycho Sisters, and In the Woods, you can get that for $69. Or if you want Family Dinner, Psycho Sisters, In the Woods, as well as Dawning, you can get that for $92. And if you want all the movies, Obviously, Psycho Sisters, Family Dinner, In the Woods, the Video Violence 1 and 2, The Dawning, and of course the Linnea Quigley workout Blu-ray. You get all of that for $138. And again, all these are up for pre-order right now at the TerrorVision website. So I recommend you go to their website and stuff and double check details and obviously place orders while you're there. And now we get to the Arrow August titles. So there's a bunch of interesting ones here. A couple of them actually I'm excited about. A couple of them I'm like, okay, fine, you know. So first up, what order do I want to do this in? I have no idea. Let's do this one because I don't even know what to make of this one. So there is going to be a 4K release and a Blu-ray release, both initially in those limited editions. And for all of these, just real quick, Arrow usually releases like those limited editions with those deluxe packaging and stuff. And then a few months down the line, they will release a standard version. So I do want to mention that real quick. So the first one that is coming to the UK, US, and Canada, again, 4K release as well as separate Blu-ray release, is When Titans Rule the Earth, a double feature set with Clash of the Titans and Wrath of the Titans, and that is the remake version, not the original from 1980-81. So these are the more recent remakes. Actually, I don't even think I ever saw these. So I don't know. Are they good? Are they not good? Anyway, retailing for $64.99, but up for pre-order right now, at least from the Arrow site, for $45. So you got both films in 4K with Dolby Vision and as well as 5.1 audio and Dolby Atmos, as well as a bunch of extras. I think mainly it looks like a lot of interviews with a bunch of people from each film. Sorry, I'm not going to go over every detail of these. I got to speed this up. So that's the first one. Next up, coming to the US, Canada, and UK as well, is a new 4K release of the movie The Woman and Offspring. I think my stomach just growled. Sorry, I haven't eaten yet. Retail for $49.99, up for pre-order right now for $35. Has a 4K restoration supervised by Lucky McKee on The Woman, and then on The Offspring, a 4K restoration supervised and approved by Andrew Van Den Houten. Each one with 5.1 audio, and then commentary tracks, making ofs, interviews, and deleted scenes, and a whole bunch of stuff. Actually, there's a lot here. There is a lot here, and actually, considering you're getting 2 films as well. Next up, coming in the US and Canada, this is actually going to be a Blu-ray box set, but it is a Arrow store exclusive. So just as a heads up, you can only order it from Arrow. And it's the Memento Mori, the Horg Buttergirit collection. Oh God, I used to know how to pronounce his name. God, I'm so sorry. I for some reason I can't remember how to pronounce his name. Retails for $99.99, up for pre-order right now for $75. So it does have all 4 of his films. His probably best known ones are Necromantic 1 and 2, which are in this set, as well as the other 2 films, Der Todesking. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that one right. And then, what was the other one? Shram, right? Shram is the 4th film in this. And again, this is a Blu-ray set and does have a couple of exclusives. I think I'm just going to cover that now. So obviously each film comes in this limited edition packaging with an exclusive 100-page book, as well as a bonus disc containing the extended cut of Necromantic 2, as well as a home video premiere of the 2020 documentary by the director, I'm trying to pronounce his name, I'm so sorry, a documentary short, Recently Unearthed, as well as other short films of his. So, and an original Necromantic 2 16mm film strip. Oh, that's actually cool. Anyway, there's a ton of extras here. Again, I'm sorry I can't go through all of it, but I'm going to jump around just a little bit for the moment. So next up, I'm just going to do the one of the UK only titles, and it is a 4K release of the movie Heathers. And they're actually going to be sort of 2 versions of it available, sort of a standard release, and then there will be an Arrow store exclusive that'll have the original one-sheet artwork on the slipcover. But again, there is a release that will be available. Well, available everywhere in the UK, or for those of us here in the States, any place that imports stuff. So up for £29.99, up for pre-order right now for £22. It does have a brand new restoration by Arrow Films for this release. And again, commentary tracks, interviews, it's got a ton of stuff on here. Definitely a lot of stuff on this release, and I'm actually looking forward to getting it. I've not seen Heathers in a long time, so I was able to get my pre-order in for it. And next up, coming to the US, Canada, and UK is a Robert Rodriguez trilogy pack. It's called the Mexico Trilogy, with has El Mariachi, Desperado, and Once Upon a Time in Mexico. Now, think about this release. which is awesome because I love these films. But a little bit of good news, bad news, depending how you want to look at it. So Desperado is getting a 4K upgrade, actual 4K upgrade. It looks like basically El Mariachi and Once Upon a Time in Mexico are Blu-ray only. And it's possible both El Mariachi and Once Upon a Time in Mexico may actually have it's just their older transfers that have been around for a while, but Desperado does have a brand new 4K restoration. Looks like it ports over all pre-existing extras, which is fantastic, including the 10-minute film school things, which are amazing. The pre-existing commentary tracks, and I do believe it does have a couple of new interviews, including with Rodriguez. For each one. And as far as Desperado goes, there will be actually 2 discs in the set. One will be 4K and the other one will actually be Blu-ray. And of course, Once Upon a Time in Mexico was actually one of the very first films to be shot on HD. So that might also be why it doesn't have a new transfer. I mean, maybe they were able to do a new, maybe take the original HD master of it and then again, just give it like a new encode or something. Don't know, but still, I'm excited for it. Retails, did I say retails for $99.99 up for pre-order for $70? I don't know if I said that. But if you only want Desperado, the 4K of Desperado, you can. There actually is a steelbook release of the 4K disc, but it also does come with the Blu-ray of Desperado. Now in the US and Canada, it looks like it is a limited edition, but I don't think it's an exclusive anywhere. But for the UK, it is a Zavi exclusive, so just a heads up on that. I have a feeling this video is actually longer than I want it to be. Okay, one more Arrow title. I just want to wrap this up. I'm going to cover this as quickly as I can. So now this is going to be a UK only release, and it is indeed a 4K release. I believe also a separate Blu-ray release of The Silence of the Lambs. Now in the States, we did get a 4K release not too long, maybe 2 years ago or something, from Kino. And as some of you know, there were a little color timing issues with, I think, like the first part of the film. It would probably be like the first reel. So I'm hoping that got corrected for the Arrow release. Probably a good chance. But that's why we don't have a US release from Arrow, because we've already gotten it from Kino. And as far as the Arrow release, it doesn't say anything about new transfer. That's why I'm thinking it's pretty much the same master that was also used for the Kino. But it also looks like it is actually porting over a lot of pre-existing extras, which is fantastic. A whole slew of them. But it does actually have a couple of new commentary tracks, which will be new to this release. And it does retail for £34.99 up for pre-order for £30, at least from the Arrow website for the 4K release. And there also is a Arrow Store exclusive, which is for the 4K disc. It's the same release, it just comes with an alternative cover, which you can see here, which was one of the posters that had both faces on it, which I think is pretty cool. And again, that is an Arrow Store exclusive. All right, did I get to everything? I think that was the last one for Arrow. So that's all their, that's all their August titles. Obviously a lot here to cover. Wow. And then finally, I want to wrap this video up with one final thing, and that is indeed we do have an update on the upcoming 4K release of Trick or Treat from Synapse Films and Red Shirt Pictures. Now, there was basically a live stream that had an interview with Michael Felcher, and I do have to admit I've not had a chance to listen to the live stream yet before I'm recording this, so I do apologize. So I'm actually taking this information from other people. Now, the official, full, final stuff is not announced yet. This is basically just more or less what's there now. But once we get the obviously full final announcement, I'll definitely cover it then. But I do just want to mention real quick that they're aiming for October for this release. They're not locking it in just yet because there's a couple things they're trying to finish, but they are aiming for October. So if they do get it out in October, my guess is like pre-orders will probably go up maybe like July or something like that. But it's going to actually have a 4K disc, a Blu-ray, and a CD soundtrack, which, like I said, I love soundtracks, so that's good news for me. Several audio options, including 5.1 audio, original stereo options and stuff, so that's good. A couple commentary tracks, music videos, trailers. I think the big thing is that there's actually going to be a feature-length documentary on the making of the film and everything, and supposedly part of the holdup, I believe, if I understood this correctly, is they're actually trying to, or they've already gotten them, but they got to edit them in, is possible interviews with Gene Simmons and Ozzy Osbourne. So if that is the case, that is going to be cool. And there are going to be 3 different covers to choose from, which I assume I've had these up, during this part. I'm pretty sure there are 3 different ones that you choose from. It's not like part of one set that you can just swap out. But again, once we have the official announcement, obviously I'll have all the final details and we'll go over everything then. That's all I know, but at least we do know it is very, very close. Hopefully it is October, because obviously that would be the perfect time for it. And obviously this film is so long overdue. So I think that's everything. I'm sure there was other stuff I wanted to include and I don't remember anymore. I just really hope this video is not too long. I'm trying to keep these a little tighter if I can. I definitely need some water. I think I've been talking way too much, but let me know your thoughts on any of these. If you have any questions, I will try and answer them again for especially some of the TerraVision stuff. I do recommend you go to their website. Anyway, I'm so scattered right now. Again, let me know your thoughts. Thank you, as always, for watching, and I will see you on the next one.